Not all coins are what they seem. Some were spent without a second thought, yet they're worth thousands, even millions today, hidden in drawers, jars, and pockets, are pieces of history waiting to be discovered. At Rare Coins, we uncover the real value, the truth behind the hype, and the coins collectors would do anything to own. Welcome to Rare Coins. Real value, real history, no hype. They say a single penny can't make you rich. But what if I told you that one coin, one worn-out little cent from 1917, has sold for over $20,000? You heard that right. A penny from over 100 years ago, still turning heads, still breaking records. But wait, before you go digging through your old jars, you need to know the truth behind this legendary coin. Because not every 1917 penny is a jackpot, and most people are getting it completely wrong. Let's break down the real story behind the 1917 Lincoln Wheat Penny, including what makes some of them extremely valuable, how to spot one worth serious money, and what not to do if you ever find one. First, let's talk about why 1917 even matters. The United States was still using the wheat reverse design, created by Victor David Brenner, with that bold portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front. This was just the 9th year of the Wheat Penny series. And while millions were struck, not all 1917 pennies were created equal. There are 3 mint varieties of the 1917 penny. The Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark, the Denver Mint marked D, the San Francisco Mint marked S. Here's where things get exciting. 1917 in Philadelphia, no mint mark. This one's common in circulated condition, but if you think it's worthless, think again. A regular worn-out example? Just a few cents, but in uncirculated condition, especially graded MS-67 red, this coin is sold for over $7,000 at auction. Why? Because red copper pennies from that era, in pristine condition, are insanely rare. Most toned, most were damaged, most got cleaned by mistake. Only a handful of true gem red examples exist today, and collectors fight for them with huge money. 1917 D, Denver Mint. Now things get hotter. The 1917 D penny has always had a strong collector following. In low grades, it's still affordable. But again, condition is king. The highest known 1917 D wheat penny, in blazing MS-66 red, sold for a jaw-dropping $2,6,400. That's life-changing money for a single cent. But here's the twist. Finding one like that is nearly impossible. Out of the millions struck, only a tiny number survived with full red color. No damage and clean surfaces. 1917S, San Francisco Mint. This is the sleeper. It doesn't get as much hype as the Denver Mint, but it should. Collectors know that San Francisco coins often have weaker strikes and more circulation wear. That means finding a sharp red, high-grade 1917S is nearly impossible, and that's exactly what makes it valuable. In MS-66 red, this coin has reached $14,000 at auction, but even in AU and XF grades, collectors will pay premiums. So what makes these coins valuable? Let's break it down. Grade. The higher, the better. Anything certified MS-63 or above gets attention. Color. Red coins are king. Brown is common. Red-brown is decent. But full red? That's money. Strike sharp details, especially in Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks on the reverse. Original surfaces. Never cleaned, never polished, no scratches. Grading and selling tips. If you think you have a valuable 1917 penny, do not clean it ever. That destroys collector value instantly. Instead, take it to a professional coin dealer for an opinion, or submit it to PCGS or NGC for grading. Graded coins sell for far more money. The certification gives buyers confidence and helps protect you from getting scammed. Once graded, you can list it on Great Collections, eBay with high-quality photos, heritage auctions, or sell directly to collectors at shows. But always do your homework. Don't take the first offer you get. Compare sold listings. Talk to experts. Cleaning warning. Let me say this clearly. Never clean your coins. No soap, no toothbrush, no polish, no water, nothing. Cleaning removes the original surface and color, and even a valuable coin becomes junk in the eyes of a collector. Always handle coins by the edge with clean hands or cotton gloves. So should you go hunting for 1917 pennies? Absolutely, but now you know what to look for. Sharp strike, full details, bright red color, original surfaces. High grade, ideally certified. The truth is, most 1917 wheat pennies are only worth a few cents. But the right one, in the right condition, it could change your entire day, more your life. If you're a collector, investor, buyer, or seller, and you're serious about coins that actually matter, this channel, Rare Coin Collecting, is built for you. We cut through the hype and give you the real story, one coin at a time. So hit that subscribe button and stick around, because we've only just begun uncovering the truth behind America's most valuable coins. People see this penny and think it's worthless. It's worn, old, and looks like pocket change, but they're dead wrong. The 1922 wheat penny has secrets, and if you find the right one, it could sell for over $90,000. I'm not kidding. Let's unpack why this coin has become a legendary treasure in American numismatics and how to know if you're holding one of the rarest pennies in U.S. history. So here's the setup. In 1922, the U.S. Mint made Lincoln Wheat Pennies, but only in one place, Denver. There were no 1922 pennies made in Philadelphia, no 1922 pennies made in San Francisco. That alone is strange. But here's what makes this coin explosive. Some 1922 pennies were struck so weakly that the D mint mark is missing. And that missing mint mark, it's the Holy Grail. Because in a year when Denver was the only mint producing these coins, any 1922 penny without a mint mark shouldn't even exist. But a die clash, where two coin dies hit each other without a blank planche in between, damaged the mint mark die. Mint workers tried to polish it down, hoping to salvage it. But in the process, they erased the D from some of the coins. A mistake that turned into a six-figure treasure. That's what collectors now call the 1922 no D strong reverse. And when I say strong reverse, I mean every detail on the back of the coin is crisp and bold. But on the front, no mint mark. If you've got that combo, no D on the front. But a strong reverse, you're not just lucky. You're potentially sitting on tens of thousands of dollars. One of these coins in pristine uncirculated condition, graded MS65 red by PCGS, sold for an unbelievable $92,000. That's right. One tiny copper penny changed someone's life. But here's where people get confused. Most 1922 pennies with no mint mark aren't valuable. That's because some are simply worn down, or were weakly struck on both sides, especially on the reverse. These are called the 1922 no D weak reverse. And while interesting, they're not the jackpot. So listen closely. If you think you've got a 1922 penny without a D, flip it over. If the wheat stalks 1 cent and United States of America are sharp and well-defined, and there's still no D on the front, that's when you need to act. Don't clean the coin. Don't rub it with anything. Any cleaning will destroy the value. Instead, take it to a certified coin dealer or submit it directly to PCGS or NGC for grading. Now let's talk about the regular 1922 D wheat penny. Over 7 million of these were minted. But even regular D coins can fetch thousands if they're in top condition. In MS66 red, one sold for $55,000. That's a regular 1922 penny with the D, just in brilliant condition. Why so valuable? Because copper coins usually turn brown over time. A full red 1922 D is extremely rare, and collectors will pay big money to get their hands on one. And here's another tip. Look for die cracks, cuds, and off-center strikes on these coins. Minting errors only add to the value. Even a common 1922 D penny with a dramatic die break could bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Now here's what I recommend. Go through every old penny jar, coin roll, or inherited box of coins. You're not just looking for the date, you're looking for the details. No mint mark on a sharp reverse, full red color, high grade. These are the money makers. And if you're serious about selling, skip eBay for now. First, get it authenticated. Use PCGS, NGC, or take it to a major coin show. Once graded, auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacks, Bowers are the right places to get top dollar. Because serious collectors trust those platforms. Here's the final word. Most people don't even know this coin exists. It hides in plain sight, just another penny. But if you're one of the few who spot the real 1922 no D with a strong reverse, or even a full red 1922 D, you've just turned a piece of copper into a payday. At Rare Coins, we're not here to chase myths. We're here to tell the truth. No hype, no clickbait, just real numismatic knowledge. That can change how you see pocket change forever. So if you're a coin investor, collector, buyer, or seller, and you're serious about knowing what actually matters, this channel is made for you. Subscribe, share this with a collector you know, and never stop checking your change. People say the 1931 Wheat Penny is one of the most important key date coins in the entire Lincoln cent series. And honestly, they're absolutely right. But the story behind it, how this tiny copper coin became a symbol of both economic struggle and numismatic triumph, is way deeper than what most viral videos tell you. Let's set the record straight. Now, you've probably seen headlines screaming this coin sold for tens of thousands. And while that's technically true, the highest graded examples have crossed into the five-figure range. Most people don't realize how tight the margins are, and how easily you could miss out if you don't know what to look for. Here's what makes the 1931 Wheat Penny so legendary. It has the lowest mintage of all the 1930s wheat cents. Just 866,000 were made. That's tiny, especially for a coin that was supposed to circulate across the entire Western United States. But the real twist? Even though they struck less than 1 million, not all of them made it into circulation. Thanks to the Great Depression, demand for coins completely collapsed. Many 1931 cents were hoarded by banks and collectors, leaving behind a legacy of high survival, but mostly in average grades. And that's where things get tricky. Today, lower grade 1931 cents are somewhat available, but anything mint state, especially red, is where the real action is. That's when the prices explode. MS66RD, you're not just talking hundreds, you're deep into the thousands. And the finest known, that's where the auction records get truly jaw-dropping. But don't assume every shiny 1931 is a jackpot. These coins were heavily stored and moved around. A lot of them were cleaned over the years, and that kills collector value instantly. So let's talk grading for a second. If your coin has original luster, smooth fields, full wheat lines, and 0 scratches under magnification, you may be looking at a candidate worth grading. But if it's been cleaned or altered in any way, even a sharp-looking piece can drop in value dramatically. And here's the big one, authenticity. Because of its fame, the 1931 is one of the most counterfeited wheat pennies in the hobby. Some scammers take common 1931 D coins and punch an S over the mint mark. Others even redate coins using acid. If you're holding one, you've got to verify that mint mark. On a genuine 1931 the S is small, perfectly centered beneath the date, and has a distinct shape. It's best to compare it to certified examples or have it authenticated by PCGS or NGC. Now let's break down the steps to selling a coin like this. 1. Do not clean it, ever. 2. Use a magnifying glass or microscope to examine the surfaces. 3. Check for luster and strike quality. 4. Look for signs of wear, especially on Lincoln's cheek and the wheat lines. 5. If it looks strong, submit it to a professional grading company. Once graded, listed on reputable auction platforms like Great Collections or Heritage, or approach trusted dealers with certified offers. And while we're at it, let me warn you, eBay is flooded with cleaned, damaged, or fake 1931 cents. If you're buying, especially raw, only deal with top-rated sellers or auction houses with return policies and authentication guarantees. There's one last twist in the story. The 1931 wasn't just a coin. It became a symbol of hope. In the middle of the Great Depression, collectors realized this coin might be the rarest of the modern era. So despite the economic pain, they held on to it. And today that loyalty has paid off. So yes, the 1931 Wheat Penny is a rare coin. A real one. A legendary one. And if you own a clean, well-preserved example, you're sitting on a piece of numismatic history with serious value, potentially one of the most profitable wheat pennies ever minted. If you're a serious buyer, seller, collector, or coin investor, and you're done with the hype and want nothing but real coin facts, then rare coin collecting is the channel made for you. We've already covered dozens of coins in our wheat penny deep dive, and we're just getting started. Stick with us, because the next coin we're about to break down might just be sitting in your old change jar, and it's even rarer than this one.